right, the previous worksheet was on log law number 1. This one we're going to do 2 and 3. All right. Log number 1 was if it was A times B, we would go A plus B. But when they're divided, we're going to separate it into 2 logs. So it's going to be log of A and log of B. Can you read that B, I hope? That's a B. Now, since it's divided, we don't put a plus sign, we put a minus sign. And that's your answer, log A minus log B. All right, try and do this problem. Log base 3 of x divided by 5. Log 3 of x, log 3 of 5. They're divided, so you put a minus sign. That's pretty simple law. That's law number 2. Here's law number 3. If you have an exponent, you can move it from here and put it in front. So if there's an exponent, you can either put it in front or you can put it as an exponent. You can move it to either place. Some problems you want to put it here, some problems you want it here. Or if you're working on a problem, get stuck, try moving it from one place to the other. All right, so for this problem, there's a 4. What can I do with that 4? I can make it a exponent. So this would be ln y to the 4th. Now this 3 you cannot take out in front because there's several things in here. It can just be one thing, although it could be a parenthesis. But if there's 2 things, you can't take the exponent out. So what can we do with this problem? This is what it'll look like on the test. I've got how many things? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have to put 4 logs if I want to expand it. So my first log would be 3. Oops, I put a 3 there. That's a 2. Log 3. The next one's going to be an x. So that's log x squared. But don't write the squared here. Put the square in front when you're expanding. They're multiplied. I'm going to put a plus sign. That takes care of the 3, and that takes care of the x. Now we got to do the w. So it's log base 3 of w. It's on the bottom. That means you're dividing by w, so we have to put a minus sign. And the last one is a z. So it's going to be log z. It's getting just barely room here, and it has a half in front. So we're going to take that half and move it up and put it on the z. And it was also on the bottom, so it also gets a negative sign. That's a 1/2 there. I need to tell you something about that. Z to the 1/2 is the same thing as square root of z. You could have written square root of z and I would have counted that right. So it's either z to the 1/2 or square root of z. This is to put them all back together again. When you put them all back together again, you only write the word log once. I had some students that have log all piled in here. I only put log once. Now in your problem, if some of them are negative, you're going to need a fraction bar. Because I want you to put all the positive ones on top and all the negative ones on bottom because you're dividing by the negative ones. So this is 2 log x. There's no negative sign, so it's positive, so the x goes on top. But what do you do with that 2? You make it an exponent. Next, let's do the y. It's negative, so the y goes on the bottom. There is no number in front. Next one's a W. It's positive. The W goes on top. Oh, wait a minute. There's a 3 here. What do I do with the 3? I make it an exponent. The last letter is Z, and it's negative, so it goes on bottom. It has a 1/2. So either put a 1/2 or you could put square root. Either one's correct, although sometimes the homework's a little picky about that. So we're expanding and we're contracting, and there's 3 logs. If they were multiplied, you would have added here. If they're divided, you subtract, and you can move the exponent from different places. Here are 4 problems. 2 of them are expand and 2 of them are compact. That would be good practice for you to do. If you look on that page, there are some wild problems. Yours will look more like this kind of problem on the test. So don't worry about trying to do all the ones that have weird stuff. Okay, bye.